the GForce Saddlehorn. Let's check it out. Guys, today we're going to take a look at the GForce Saddlehorn, and this is a lever action rifle. It's in the Winchester 94 type action, top eject. It has a ton of features to this rifle. Now this is in 357 Magnum. They also make it in 44 Magnum. But lever action rifles have really had an uptick in popularity. And of course, with Marlin coming on through Ruger, and also with Smith & Wesson introducing their new models, and of course Henry. I mean, we have a lot of different options. This Saddlehorn comes in at about half the price. And one of the beautiful things about that is you may not want to spend that much money on a new lever action rifle, and this allows you to get into lever action really easily. And there are a ton of different models. Now this is the tactical model. It's got a lot of cool features that really update it to the 21st century. One of the big things, a lot of guys are taking their lever actions and they're just modernizing them with M-Lok rails and picatinny rails, threaded barrels, a lot of different options. With GForce, they give you that basic traditional rifle, but they'll also goes up to whatever you can possibly imagine. And with that, we want to give a big thank you to Gunzonedeals for providing the Saddlehorn for this review. Well guys, we have the GForce arms. This is what they call their Saddlehorn. And this is their tactical version. They make a number of different configurations. In fact, it's absolutely crazy how many. They do have the standard wood stock with a blued finish. They have a nickel plated finish with the wood stock, and then it just goes on to all kind of different models. This is not the ultimate tactical. They do have a stock system that's skeletonized, and it has a lot of other accessories. But today we're going to take a look at their standard tactical. And guys, really before we get into it too much, the big deal about this rifle is the price. If you've really been wanting a lever action rifle, this is a great way to get started. Let's make sure that the gun is unloaded. We're going to open up our action and it's clear. It does have a side loading gate, and so it's really easy to get the rounds in. And it does have a tube, and that just stores 8+1 of 357 Magnum or 44 Magnum. We have a 16.25 inch barrel. We do have a nice Picatinny rail section here, and this is great for a scout setup. And because this is a top eject, it's like your Winchester 94, and so this is going to be a little more difficult to attach scope mounts to it. A lot of guys have come up with different ways to do it, but I really like the scout setup. It's really fast. It's one of Jeff Cooper's inspirations. Also, we do have a rear sight that is elevation adjustable. It does come with a threaded barrel, and you have a thread protector, so you can put suppressors or any kind of muzzle device. Also, we have a fiber optic front sight. The barrel band is right here behind the sight because of the just 16.25 inch barrel. We have a standard M-Lok rail for the handguard. There is a small section for a Picatinny rail. You can put a bipod, lights, lasers. Also, we have a sling swivel right here behind it. And it does come with a shell holder. You can put 4 rounds in. At first, I had a little trouble getting these rounds in and out. I thought that maybe they went from the underneath, but we were wrong. They just would fall out. But we kept them in here and they held very well. There is a silicone gasket right here just to keep them into place, and that way you can have 4 rounds just ready to go at your fingertips. but it is tight going in. Now the receiver is aluminum, and this is a black Cerakote finish all throughout. Again, we do have our side loading gate. We have a spurred hammer at the back, and we do have an unusual safety right here. So bring it forward and you're on safe, bring it back, and of course the red dot notes that this is fire. And when you're racking it, you can see that the whole top of the action comes back, and again, very much like your Winchester 94 design. Really nice polished feed ramp in there to get those rounds in really quick. And guys, it is incredibly smooth. That's one of the things a lot of times about guns that are more of a budget nature that tend to have a little less refinement. And we'll look at the trigger, but not a bad trigger. We have the large loop, and this has been covered in leather, and it is braided all the way out, and you have a little tail here at the end. But this makes it really comfortable. And one of the things about a large loop is it gets your hand in there, makes it really quick to be able to rack it. And with this leather, it's going to help protect your hand, because a lot of times you're just against metal, and that can wear on the back of your hand. Now it has a black synthetic stock. It is a straight pistol grip, and then we have a sling swivel here at the back. So this gun honestly is ready to go. Attach a scope, a sling, and you can hit the field. Or you can go without a scope. But really in .357 Magnum, this rubber butt pad just makes it nice to sit on your shoulder. There's not a lot of recoil. The tactical model is 34 inches in overall length. It weighs 5.5 pounds. One of the things about a lever action rifle is it's very handy. It's very easy to use, and honestly, it's a very fast action. And that's one of the reasons why these have become very popular lately, to tack them out. I mean, this has a lot of tactical features to it, and it really upgrades it over the traditional lever action rifle. Now when it comes to your trigger pull, just curved trigger, it's a single action, it's a little shelf, and then it goes off. I mean, that is a very clean break. All right, trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 2 pounds, 4.8 ounces. 2 pounds, 3.6 ounces. That is a light trigger. But with lever action, you're working the action, the hammer's in the rear position, and you should be ready to fire. But again, you do have that safety right here on top. And it does have a half cock position. I don't see a transfer bar inside. So I'm not sure that this is necessarily drop safe, but because of the stock, you're typically not going to hit the hammer, but I think it'd be wise to keep it on that half cock. Big thanks to Fiocchi for sponsoring our ammunition, all made in the USA. This is .357 Magnum, and we're going to be shooting it, and we have .38 Special as well. We're just going to be going with some recoil differences. And we have a side loading gate. Just push it in, and real easy to load. Sometimes the loading gates can be pretty stiff. This one seems to be really good. Just that right tension. Guys, we have the GForce Saddlehorn. It's a lever action rifle. These are coming out of Turkey. The price is really reasonable, and really with the features you're getting, it's a very modernizable lever action rifle, and that's been the big rage. Has that big loop, have M-Lok slots all the way up the front. We have a threaded barrel, sights, fiber optic, little sight at the back that fits onto the Picatinny rail, but it shows up well. Very smooth action. Now this is in .357 Magnum. One thing is it has a small little carrier that you can put 4 rounds. Now at first I put them in backwards and they would fall out, but you're supposed to put them in this way, and it makes it so you can top it off really fast. But there are a lot of other options for this. We're going to do a whole separate video. There's skeletonized stocks and some other things that really bring this up to the 21st century, and yet for a very reasonable price. Top eject, just like your Winchester 94. It's light, it's handy, it's just a very comfortable shooting rifle, and we're shooting .357 Magnum, and it's just really a lot of fun there's not a lot of recoil. There's a pick rail here, there's a sling adapter. Again, guys, you can really set this up, and with the weight, this would make an excellent hunting option. I mean, once you get a hold of it and the weight, that's what I love about it. And of course, all the options. But really cool rifle, great to see a great lever action at a reasonable price. Guys, when it comes to adding an optic to a rifle that you haven't sighted in, you can walk the rounds to the target, or you can use a laser bore sighter. This saves you a lot of time and a lot of ammunition. And we've been using the Tactical Elite's laser bore sighter. This is the Sightright 2.0. It's a green laser. Now, there are a number of collet options to fit the caliber. Screw it onto the laser and then just slide it into the bore. This is bore sighting your rifle with a laser. So guys, check out the Sightright 2.0, and it's at tacticalelites.com. Well, guys, when it comes to maintaining your rifle, typically with lever actions, I use the bore snake more than anything. This is the ripcord from Otis, and that way you don't have to necessarily remove the lever, the bolt, and all this to get to the breech. Otherwise, you've got to. So, and two, this can be a little more complicated as far as disassembly with some other lever actions. With most lever actions, it just has a screw right here and your lever comes off and you can pull your bolt out. It's very simple, honestly, but this is a little more complicated. There are some different screws, and even with the locking block, there's a locking screw and some other things. So I'm not going to go through all that. We may do a separate video just cleaning this rifle. But really, a bore snake works great, and we recommend Otis for all of our cleaning stuff, and Shooter's Choice, which Otis owns. The ripcord is one of their signature items, and they are suppliers to the U.S. military, so just a good choice in cleaning materials. And a big thanks to Otis for sponsoring our video. Now, they start out with their basic model with the wood stock and the blued finish, or even the nickel finish, and they are $449 on Gunzonedeals. When you get up to the tactical model, these are $549. And that has to do with the picatinny rail and the M-Lok and the threaded barrel. As far as pros and cons, definitely the price is a huge pro. I mean, you're talking about half of what it costs for a comparable lever action rifle. And so you can really get into this very easily. But with the tactical model, you already have your M-Lok rail, your picatinny, even your cartridge carrier, leather against the large loop, and it has that 94 action, which is very proven. Threaded barrel, I mean, it has a lot of pros. What are some cons? One is this safety. I mean, it's a little bit different, and usually you have your crossbolt safety, so that makes it really nice, and this just makes it different. Not necessarily bad, just different. Also, it's complicated to disassemble. I mean, you got to pull out a lot of screws. It's doable and definitely something you can do, but that is going to be one of the cons. The receiver is aluminum, which helps it to be really lightweight. And a lot of times, even Henry uses brass and different things. So the receiver is not so important. You really want to make sure you have a strong bolt. But over time, I guess we'll see. But overall, I mean, this has been flawless, and there's a lot of fans out there of this rifle. The upgrades, there's a lot of things you can do to this gun as well, and anything that'll fit your Winchester 94, you're going to be able to do to this gun. So that gives you a lot of options with different stocks, different M-Lok rails, Picatinny sections, a lot of things. So that's definitely a big plus. So overall, a great rifle just to take out to the woods if you want to go hunting, if you just want something around the house, or if you just want to go to the range and you want to get back to that lever action Americana feel and yet have a lot of modern features. And again, they do offer their standard traditional models, and those really get down in price. So overall, we've had a great experience with the GForce Saddlehorn, and I think it's just a lot of fun, and again, the price is right. So guys, if you've been looking at lever action rifles, I mean, they are so traditional, they're so Americana, and yet the prices have really increased. GForce Saddlehorn gives you another option to be able to come in at more of a budget price, and yet it has a ton of features, and the quality is really exceptional. And guys, again, this does come out of Turkey, but we're seeing some really great options to allow us to just experience some things that we might not be able to experience otherwise. But yet, this still is just an excellent rifle on its own. And again, a big thank you to Nate over at Gunzonedeals for sending the GForce Saddlehorn 357 Magnum lever action rifle for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. These are made in Turkey. They're fairly reasonable.
We don't want to waste camera.
Sorry, we got Miss Cranky over here.
And it's very reasonable. Okay. Guys, check out the Tactical Elite Sightright 2.0 green bore sighter. So check out Tactical Elites 2.0.
So check out the Tactical Elite Sightright 2.0.
Action with the top eject. And okay, now we'll do something different, guys. Today we're going to take a look at this, guys. Okay.